Why no one in this Texas town will go near the old train tracks after midnight there is a small town in Texas called San Antonio. Well, not inside San Antonio, just outside it. A place where the city fades into scrubland and the streetlights stop working, and the only sound at night is the wind moving through mesquite trees. And cutting through this empty land is a stretch of old train tracks. They are not used anymore. No trains have run on them for decades. The rails are rusted, the wooden ties are rotting. Weeds grow between the steel. But if you talk to the locals, they will tell you something strange. They will tell you that those tracks are not abandoned. Something still uses them. Something that only appears after midnight. And if you hear it coming, you need to run. This is the story of the San Antonio ghost tracks. A legend so persistent, so deeply embedded in the local culture, that generations of teenagers have tested their courage against it. Most come back scared. Some come back changed. A few don't come back at all. And the chilling part? There might be actual evidence that the story is true. Let's start at the beginning. The legend dates back to the 1940s. A school bus was making its regular afternoon route, carrying children home from a rural elementary school. The route crossed the train tracks at a specific intersection where the road dipped down and visibility was poor. On this particular day, the bus stalled, right on the tracks. The driver tried to restart the engine. Nothing. Tried again. The children were growing restless. Some were laughing. Some were looking out the windows. And then one of them saw it. A train. Coming fast. The driver screamed for the children to get out. But there was no time. The train struck the bus at full speed. The impact was catastrophic. Every child on board was killed. The driver was killed. The train engineer survived, but he would never work another day in his life. He would spend the rest of his years in a psychiatric hospital, unable to close his eyes without seeing their faces. At least, that is how the legend goes. Historical records from the area are frustratingly incomplete. There was indeed a train accident near this location in the late 1930s or early 1940s. Newspaper archives from the time mention a collision involving a school vehicle. But the details are vague. The number of children varies depending on the source. Some say 10, some say 14, some say the bus was full. What everyone agrees on is that something terrible happened at that crossing, and whatever it was left a mark on the land that has never healed. Here is where the story becomes more than just a sad historical footnote. In the decades since the accident, thousands of people have visited the tracks. They come at night. They park their cars on the dirt road that crosses the rails. They put the car in neutral, they turn off the engine, and they wait. Because according to the legend, the children are still there, and they will push your car. The claim is this: if you stop your vehicle directly on the tracks and put it in neutral, something will happen. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, your car will begin to roll forward, uphill, against gravity. It will roll all the way across the tracks to safety on the other side. And if you get out and look at your back bumper, you will find tiny handprints pressed into the dust. The children, so the story goes, are still trying to push cars off the tracks. They are still trying to save people from the train that killed them. They do not know they are dead. They only know they need to help. Skeptics have tried to debunk this phenomenon for years. They claim the road is not truly uphill. They say it is an optical illusion, a gravity hill, a trick of the landscape that makes a slight downhill slope appear to go up. And maybe that explains the physics of the rolling car. But it does not explain the handprints. Hundreds of visitors have reported finding small, child-sized handprints on their vehicles after visiting the tracks. Some have even taken photographs. The prints are always too small to belong to an adult. They are always pressed into the dust or powder on the back of the car, and they are always arranged as if someone was pushing from behind. I have looked at these photographs myself. Some are obvious fakes. obvious smears made by an adult hand. But others are different. Others show distinct, delicate fingers, palms, the kind of print that would be very difficult to fabricate without a real child present. And the people who have experienced this are not all ghost hunters or thrill seekers. Some are just curious locals who took a drive one night and came back with a story they cannot explain. One woman, a nurse from a nearby hospital, visited the tracks with her husband in 2014. She was skeptical. She thought the whole thing was silly. They parked their sedan on the tracks. They put it in neutral. They waited. Nothing happened for a full minute. Then the car began to move. Not coast. Move. She described it as a gentle but firm push. The car rolled over the tracks and continued for another 20 feet before coming to a stop. They got out. They were laughing nervously. They walked to the back of the car. And there, in the fine layer of Texas dust that had settled on the trunk, were 2 small handprints. She stopped laughing. She told a local reporter that she had never believed in anything supernatural before that night. Now she doesn't drive on that road anymore, even during the day. Another visitor, a college student, went to the tracks with a group of friends in 2019. They brought baby powder to sprinkle on the back bumper. They wanted to see the prints clearly if they appeared. Their car rolled across the tracks. When they checked the bumper, the baby powder had been disturbed. There were prints in it. And the group of 5 college students, all of them rational and educated and utterly unprepared for what they were seeing, ran back to their car and drove away so fast that one of them left their shoe behind. They never went back for it. So what is happening at these train tracks? Is it really the spirits of dead children trapped in an endless loop of tragedy and rescue? Is it a geological anomaly combined with the power of suggestion and a few well-placed hoaxes? Or is it something else entirely? Something we don't have words for yet. Something that exists in the space between what we can measure and what we can feel. I don't have the answer. But I do know this. The tracks are still there. The road is still open. And every year, more people drive out to that crossing after midnight. They park. They turn off their engines. They wait. Some of them feel nothing. Some of them feel a push. And some of them find small, dusty handprints on their cars. Handprints that were not there before. So if you ever find yourself on a dark road outside San Antonio and your GPS fails, and you come across an old railway crossing that seems to appear out of nowhere, you can stop if you want to. You can put your car in neutral. You can see for yourself if the stories are true. But if your car begins to roll and you feel something gentle pressing against your back bumper, don't get out. Don't look for the handprints in the dust. Just keep driving. Because some helpers don't know they are dead. And some of them might not want to let you go. Sleep well.